All right, so I got a couple of different ideas. All right, first thing, why are we not bathing in the freaking river and using like wet sand to wash ourselves off with, like, an abrasive that it would be? But you don't. Okay, there's glass in there. You don't have to worry about glass and stuff like that. But man, if we didn't pollute the rivers, then we could do this. But no, of course not. So yeah, you have sand. It's all natural, and all this stuff that's natural. It would not be promoting skin cancer like all these other skin products that have all kinds of synthetic crap in it. So therefore, yeah, uh, you should be able to use this sand right here. It's really soft, just to like scrub away and have a good old time, and you'd be clean. And then the water would have a filter. But another idea was to build a dam, like have the dam use as a filtration system, and I'm sure they already have that. So, but make it so it's healthy, but don't add fluoride and all that stupid crap in it. So yeah, all right. I think that's the gist of it. The dam idea was like worth noting. Just every city that has a dam should implement like some kind of filtration system that is a natural barrier towards toxins and stuff like that. Since there is a constant flow at different points, eventually the water would be safe, and we could implement some different laws to make sure that people don't, big companies especially, don't pollute the water and put stuff into the water and stuff like that. There's a few still different things that we gotta figure out in this world, but ultimately, if we have a bunch of natural stuff instead of synthetic stuff is what's polluting the environment, not frickin', oh no, a flower's dying, oh, where are we gonna throw it in the garbage, oh, that's gonna hurt the environment. I don't think so. That'll just be repurposed in the earth. And so therefore, yeah, all kinds of different things. Like, I mean, we don't want to go, we understand that there's technology that, so there are things to use the technology for that can be an immediate benefit, like for example, fast mathematics, like supercomputers doing mathematics, like so that we can figure out how much of something to put in to make something else, for example. But that can also be the part of the reason why our mathematics are ahead of like not using a supercomputer. And so maybe that's what happens. Things just tend to get synthetic in some form. But if you maintain a balance with nature, you can definitely, as nature recycles itself, it can be perfectly healthy for the environment. And natural, everything's natural. All this stuff that's going into the water, which these plants and stuff like that fall off, or they basically act as a tea, like a natural tea. So you'll get some benefits from drinking river water, definitely, because there's tons of nutrients in it. But you're also going to be getting additional toxins, unfortunately, with different chemicals in the river due to the water not being able to naturally filter out at that high of a rate. Same thing with oil. If we're taking too much oil, then from the earth or whatever it is, you take too much oil, the earth cannot replenish the oil, and and the atmosphere can only take so much before it's basically causes disease. And so yeah, that's another super exciting thing having to do with nature and adding synthetic. Yeah, so that's why we need to be using different energy methods in a certain mathematical form, so that we make sure that the earth can replenish its resources without so we should be able to bathe in the river. Instead, we have a bunch of guck. Just a bunch of guck. I drink a little bit of it once in a while just to test it out, because it's not, and I haven't got sick or anything like that. So if I start wanting to kill people or something, then I'll let you know. Then there's something wrong with my brain, or kill myself. There's something wrong with my brain. To have those thoughts, oh, that's the little bit of microtoxins that you're witnessing. So yeah, live stream. It's not a live stream. Yeah, so it's so build a dam, or use the natural dams as well as. Now, how do you use a natural filter system? I would assume the cheapest way to go would be almost to like put a bunch of dead trees, or recently you could put them so that you don't want to block off the water flow. So, but you want the water to come into contact with organic material so that it can heal, that everything can take what it wants for nutrients, the plants and soot, the animals, everything, so that the water is purified. So I'd think actually living stuff, putting that in the way so it comes in contact with living stuff. But then there's also, there's some different things to think about. But if you have living trees, for example, the water is going to come into contact. It's going to be beneficial for the tree unless it's an overload of water. So then that would be toxic because too much of something. It's all in moderation if possible. If you can manage to have that control, moderation is key. There are going to be plants that have a crazy amount of some chemical, or made up of some material is that too much of something, or is that different beings cohabitating together and working together to live, as the documentaries would suggest, on the systems of the trees and the roots, and how the trees and they're all connected, and the roots. Very interesting. Yeah, it's deep. You kind of pretty much have to just be a really intuitive person to think about this stuff in real deep detail, but some people don't want to take the effort. They feel like they don't have time. But really, just if you take a half an hour or an hour, even a month, to think about this stuff, and then that will be beneficial, and you'll understand things that you never expected to understand, just putting that little bit of effort. And by putting it in a number form, you can see how it's not that hard to imagine that you put yourself that extra time for trying to figure out and understand these life questions that a lot of us have sometime. But when we realize that there is so much to understand and so much that you could go into, it's almost like overwhelming. It scares people off. But I mean, it's beautiful in ways. I'm disappointed that I can have conversations about this stuff with a lot of different people, but I mean, you have to build up to it. You can't just go. Even me talking 9 minutes does not. It can be too much for people. But it's like almost like sometimes, for example, I can be like an information and enthusiastic overload. So there's people that can receive that, and there's people that will reject that and make it short. And so I pause to let the energetic overflow settle down a little bit into hopefully a more state of homeostasis, and then the brain goes into more more things that are just deep and immediately stressful, for you understand the magnitude of these deep questions, and it's like you know that you're, in order to actually get a definitive answer, you almost have to put in the time to really be, I think, introspective or introspective. Introspective. uh, it's but okay, so even 20 minutes. See, I start off big, an hour. Oh, that's a little too much to put in even in a month. Like, you really want to put in the time. Okay, how about 20 minutes? Oh wait, like, you're talking, uh, that's still 20 minutes. 20 minutes can be a long time. So how about 10 minutes? So, okay, 10 minutes it is. All right. Uh, let's see here. It's too much for me. I'm getting dry mouth as we speak. And so yeah, try 10 minutes. Okay. That's still too long. That's still a freaking long time. I mean, think if you had to be tortured for 10 minutes straight. That's a long time. If it's a minute, that's 60 freaking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's still a long time. So try 5 seconds. We can all withstand pain for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh man, that was a long time. How about 1 second of introspective thought? You know, you can get a lot done in 1 second. Just a question can emit emotion, immediate emotion, and thoughts that you just never uh, thought you'd understand. But then it gets exciting, you know, when you start to understand some of this stuff, or think that you understand some of this stuff, and then you see how beautiful it is. And it can be absolutely freaking beautiful when you find out, like, for example, that every freaking particle, everything is light. Like, everything that you see when you close your eyes in the total black darkness, you know, is light. And that sounds, you have to, again, you gotta, in order to see it, not that you're trying to see it, because I didn't try to see that. It came to me after, in meditation, when I was focusing in between the phosphenes. You see, when you close your eyes, all these dots everywhere, dot 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 dot, dot, like millions of them, or, you know, you just assume that they're infinite in a fractal way. Now I'm rambling. All right, so, ooh, that's gonna be some good tea. See, that leaf has been there for a while. Maybe. You try some tea, Bumper. Take some time for some introspective thought, but yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. But anyway, alright, have a great day. Yeah, build that freaking dam. It's gonna filter out. You can use normal organic. You might have to replace. No, it should be fine. Living stuff as a filtration, have the water interact so it filters it out. But then the tree might be, it, like, absorb, have other things, rocks and stuff. Yeah. Make sure that the water gets filtered. Okay. Stop putting fluoride in the freaking water. Thank you.